Welcome back, everyone. Some interesting news today. I want to go into a bit more of some more investigative topics today. I want to jump into the secret smart city programs allegedly launching in Netherlands right now, but also going a bit deeper into this because, well, okay, I'll tell you what. I was trying to look into the World Economic Forum's involvement with this program because people in the Netherlands were alleging this was a WEF program. What I found was much worse than that. It turns out they're doing this globally, and it turns out this is actually part of a program they have. But it's interesting that the web page they seem to have deleted it, but I found the archives and I want to show you their documents, their reports, what they're actually talking about doing, what they've already done, and where this is heading. Because there's some stuff currently being built that actually does deeply align with this. A total reimagining of the way that we live. I will show you the videos of this. I will show you the documents. It's going to be a very interesting episode. Also, folks, we're going to be getting into the baby farms, and you heard me right on that. There is now a factory farming program coming out to grow human infants. They say this is for specifically people who, have trouble conceiving. If you're a woman and you're unable to have a child, or a man unable to have a child, they can help you grow a child. They have a video of it. It looks kind of disturbingly similar to the pod scene in the Matrix movies of humans in these little pods. I'll show you this and we'll discuss how the thing works and the very likely implications they're going to run into as they try to launch it because they're trying to do it right now. It's going to be a pretty far out episode, but far out only insofar as things that they're currently doing. This is all real stuff and things being promoted by very influential, very wealthy people. Folks, that said, we are back on YouTube today. Those of you on YouTube, we had a strike on the channel. It was a retroactive strike, so it was based on they went months back to find something I did wrong. I talked about the vaccines. Apparently, even though the current standards you can talk about them and even question them, they gave me a retroactive strike for some reason on that. I'm walking on thin ice when it comes to YouTube. So please join us on Epic TV. And on that note too, if you're on YouTube and I disappear, come find us on Rumble, come find us on Facebook, come find us on Twitter. We actually broadcast live on all three of those as well. So that said, folks, again, after about 25 minutes, we will jump exclusively to Epic TV. And that said, let's get started. Let's start first with what's happening in the Netherlands. Now, I want to start from the top. This is a Dutch news outlet. It's called De Ander Krant. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'll read you the translations. I'll show you the website, but I'll read you the translation. For some reason, Google Translate on the webpage itself doesn't work, so you just have to agree that this is what it actually says. But it says, in the web of the WEF, as in World Economic Forum, Apeldoorn, that's a city in Netherlands, first smart city based on a secret agreement. And translated from Dutch, it states Apeldoorn has been transformed into the first smart city in the Netherlands by the World Economic Forum, without consulting its residents. An unknown Austrian company called Radio LED has rolled out a 5G network in the city based on a secret agreement with the municipality. The municipality does not receive any revenue from the project. The direction lies entirely with Radio LED. That company also manages the data obtained from thousands of sensors that follow Apeldoorn citizens everywhere. Apeldoorn Smart City is just one of many projects World Economic Forum is carrying out in the Netherlands. Further in it states, in Apeldoorn, the Austrian tech company Radio LED has rolled out a public 5G network, a first in the country. And it notes as well a route in which the city, in collaboration with tech company Radio LED again, is provided with a lightning-fast and free public 5G network. So hey, you get free internet, and it's very fast. Sounds great, right? It says also with traffic lights that ensure that cyclists don't have to wait too long for a green light when it rains. lights at an intersection that indicate whether another road user is approaching the sensor that keep track of how clean the outside air is. All kinds of benefits to it, but there's a cost to all those benefits, which I'll explain in a minute. It notes as well, for the implementation of the Smart City project, the municipality of Apeldoorn and Radio LED concluded a secret agreement in 2021 in which Radio LED was granted permission to attach 500 small transmitters, which look like square white boxes, and they put these on lamp posts throughout the city. Now, let me go into a few points with this. So I came across this story, and my first instinct was, well, this makes sense, because if you remember, we've been talking for a while about the food agenda, and the Netherlands was one of the main focal points of that. Remember, in a previous episode, we talked about the restrictions on farmers in the Netherlands, how the government had begun restricting, for example, fertilizers. I did a full episode digging into that, and we talked about how the World Economic Forum was actually involved in that. The Netherlands, it turns out, is kind of the launching pad of what they call the World Food Hubs, which is one of their new, reimagined food programs. We now see that what we warned about is coming to pass. They are now shutting down farms. This was not just about restricting fertilizer, it was about shutting down farms. And if you remember as well, some of the claims coming from the farmers themselves believed this was essentially a coup or a conspiracy to steal their land and convert the Netherlands into basically like a newly imagined world city. These claims are not far-fetched. And they're not far-fetched mainly because, as I dug into this, it seems to be this is the case. The Netherlands is one of the, I think ground zero points to begin launching these types of programs. And as I dug deeper, I found that this is actually, there's a lot more to it than even what I initially suspected. I went through a lot of Dutch articles, using Google Translate and so on. There are people, they talk about these white boxes they're attaching to lampposts. Some people are suspicious of them. Some people like them. Basically, they found a way to network the entire city, creating essentially a 5G network throughout the whole city where people can access the internet, and the city is basically connected now. I also did a lot of digging into the World Economic Forum connection. I personally did not find a direct connection between Radio LED and the WEF. I should note this. But what I did find, I would say, is actually significantly more interesting. I think it's easy to get distracted by the company itself that's just building it. The real interesting part is the agenda behind it, which is actually very clearly stated. And it's much, much bigger than just the Netherlands. This is a global program, already having agreements in Canada, in the United States, in many parts of Europe. And I'm going to go into that today on what I found.